2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Or good evening and good night, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yeah, I can't use good night like a greeting. That's just always like a last thing you say.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
you can't just like casually greet someone like, hey, good night. Just sounds weird.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Well, enough of that banter. My name's Shane.
And I am David.
Dave? I've never heard you go by David.
I generally don't, but I know
Is that your legal name?
My legal name. My mom would call me David, so if she's ever going to listen to this, I at least have to put it in there once.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is a smart idea. Well, if you're listening in, this is 2414, a podcast about conversation, talking about stuff that happened. I'm just reading the sign behind me, but it's a conversation where we love to model conversation, and it's a podcast where we love to model conversation and what that looks like in real life. Just real people talking about real things, and just goofy random things as well. But we are continuing our conversation in a little series on 1, 2, 3 challenge. Our past few episodes have been on the gather and grow. Today we're unpacking go. And if you're just checking in the middle point of this series, the 1, 2, 3 challenge is a challenge that our church at St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington, is committing ourselves to. And what we're doing is we want everyone who calls St. Luke's home to take 2 intentional steps in each of our 3 discipleship categories: to gather in worship and in life together, to grow in word and baptismal identity, and to go to love well and speak the gospel. And we are we are discussing the go portion, and specifically the go love well today. If you want to follow along in this episode, you can pick up a 1, 2, 3 book at the Welcome Center on a Sunday morning or literally any day of the week. Or you can look at a PDF on our stlukes-church.com website. There's a little section 1, 2, 3, and you can just get the PDF of the book. It's all free. You can follow along. We're starting at page 35, but before we really start with it, we love to start every episode with just sharing highs and lows, whether that's from the past minute, hour, week, year, if you really wanted to, just kind of whatever's on your heart and mind. And we love to do it just because we love to model it in this conversation, so you can model it in a conversation at home or somewhere else. I think it's really helpful. A lot of times I feel like I have no energy to even ask like the simple question of like, what's high and low for you recently? Because I'm always tired. Not always, but I'm lazy. That's the word I want. I'm always lazy.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Way to confess.
Yeah. I'm confessing here.
Yeah.
But when I do have, when I am kind of modeling like group settings, it's always a great way to model it for the group, just for people to share what's great, what's something we can be praying about for you. And there's other questions you can ask people, but this is always just a low bar. It's just above the how's it going question for me.
I like it better as an easy entry rather than a low bar.
Yes. It is an easy entry, but for me, a low bar is like asking like, how's it going? I don't know. I'm not a fan of that question because it's very autopilot, and everyone has their autopilot response.
Yeah.
Good. How are you? Good. Or meh. Or eh. It's never a thoughtful answer to a non-thoughtful question.
Yeah. I have come to appreciate the highs and lows, and I think that they can become too easy to.
They can.
High.
Yes. And
yeah. So the deal is it's not like exact What's exciting you this week?
Yes.
What's troubling you this week?
Yeah, I think there's more thoughtful ways you can ask the same question.
Yeah.
And perhaps I could do that. Perhaps we can here. So maybe let's try it.
Well,
I think...
Shane.
Yeah.
What's exciting you this week?
What is exciting me? That's a great question. I think we're planning just an intentional friend day with some friends up in the Seattle area.
Awesome.
And we're really excited to... It was originally planned as like a camping trip, and I think as the date got closer, we all kind of... it kind of snuck up on all of us, and we were all like, that's a lot of work to go camping and babies, because they got a baby of their own.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot of work. What if we just do a sleepover? That's more fun. Yeah. So we're just planning just having fun together.
Cool.
That's exciting me this week. What's the opposite of low? What's the impending dread on your heart this week?
What are you anxious about? Because that also, if somebody says they're anxious about something, that also gives the opportunity to pray. Don't be anxious in anything. God is with you. Jesus is here. He's none of that. So I sometimes say, "What are you anxious about?"
Yeah.
What are you anxious about, Shane? Do you like how I'm doing this jujitsu and putting you on the spot?
this mental jujitsu.
Conversational jujitsu.
Also, that's a perfect descriptor word. I don't know if you just pulled that out of the air. Jujitsu'd it because you took my question and grappled me around into answering these.
I may be old and I may be heavy, but I can move.
But you do jujitsu.
I do mental jujitsu.
Oh, what's anxious for me? I'd say, I think might have. I can't remember if I said this in the podcast or in just another conversation. I think it just my disorganization of recent is kind of been is making me anxious, because like I was good for a good while of getting everything organized and getting a very polished to-do list week to week, day to day, and like, cool, I have my tasks, and that's kind of just fizzled, got messy over the past few weeks / months. Not quite where I want it to be, and it's making me a little like anxious, just because like I know what I need to do, but I think part of what I need to do is just get organized again, while trying to do work simultaneously. So I'm just trying to find that balance and getting organized again. So I have clear outcomes, clear goals. So it's making me a little anxious, I guess.
Your to-do list isn't to your satisfaction.
It is not.
Yeah.
So just the lack of cleanliness, both physically, but also like digitally or scribbly, wherever I keep my notes
and stuff all over the place.
Yeah. So, I'll throw it over to you. What's I want to start with this. What's making you anxious? So we can end on a high note.
Very good. Another judo move.
Yes.
Anxious. I think in the last couple of weeks, just in doing ministry, making sure that everyone is loved and cared for, and that I'm not forgetting anybody. I know it's not all on me, and I know there's a great team here, and you're here, and Brenda's here, and God's working through the ELT and volunteers and stuff. But just in the last couple of weeks, just like, I hope everybody's okay. And if they're not, they're reaching out, and that we can go for a walk or a coffee or whatever. So just that everyone is in the summertime and changes and things happening in life, that I pray at the end of the day that everybody's resting their head peacefully on their pillow, but I know that life gets in the way, so that's it's not a low, it's just a thing. Does that make sense?
It is. Well, it's not a low. It's what's anxious, or what's making you anxious.
Yeah, so that's on my mind and heart.
Yeah, and that's been on your mind, heart.
Yeah.
This of recent. Yeah.
So and it's not trying to be like super pious. It's also bringing me to a place of, it's in God's hands too. Dave, you're not going to do it all. Christ is doing it all. So for me, for my own faith to take heart and don't be anxious, for God is at work way beyond what I can do.
Yeah, God is at work. He's the one moving the mountains in the heart.
Yeah. So it's
nothing that you can do, but
Yeah.
how can you help that, facilitate that for others?
Right.
And just,
Yeah, maybe it's tied to our subject too. Am I loving well? Am I loving well? That's all. That's all. Maybe that brought it to mind. So it's your fault.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So that's on your heart, but what is uplifting your heart? What's exciting you recently?
Right now, my niece and her friend are on a road trip and are up at our place. They drove from California, Southern California, all the way up to Seattle. And they came in late one night and they're hanging out with us, and they're going to be here tonight with summer nights program, and they're going to be at church on Sunday. So it's like, wow, we've got people in our house and it's cool, and they're young and they're exciting. And so it's nice to have just time with people who you love.
Yeah. Oh, that's really fun and nice, and great opportunity to spend with them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they ask questions that I don't even think about, and what's your perspective on that? So it's good. It's a good conversation, and it's fun to have them in the house. Although they keep different hours than I do.
They keep as in like they wake up at go to sleep at different times.
They go to sleep later than I do.
Yeah.
They're 18 and 19. They go to sleep later than I do. They wake up later than I do. So but we still get to see each other. So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, that's super exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. As much as I want to transition this high and low, anxious excitement thing into our go love well, I also love friendly, safe competition.
I would choose different words, but I think I understand where you're going. Friendly, safe competition.
Yes, it's
you
more
like competition.
It's more of a ritual routine of the show at this point, but I love it. We love to, before hopping into the main conversation of the day, we love to play a little game, and it at this point, it's a pretty healthy balance between two games, Outburst and Wheels versus Doors. To keep things, keep the heart rate lower for Vicar Dave, we've been playing Wheels versus Doors. It's a little less stressful than an Outburst might be, and if this is making sense to you, we got a whole catalog of episodes you can go back to, and it'll make a little more sense. Wheels versus Doors is just a game about picking the higher number. That's all it is. So we're going to play these 6 pairings of questions together, and you're just going to say higher or lower between the two of them. So you can number a paper from 1 to 5. You can play in your head if you want to at home, and I'm just going to list some things, and you can debate amongst yourselves if you're listening to this what you think the higher number is. So we're going to go one by one, and then we'll open this up. So first pairing of things together is annual attendance of Major League Baseball. Annual attendance of Major League Baseball. I'm guessing that's a cumulative. And album sales of Purple Rain. Purple Rain by Prince.
I'm guessing that's a cumulative. Now you're already putting parameters on it. Okay. No foreshadowing answers, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll get there soon enough. All right, our second pairing, album of sales of Purple Rain or Fisherman.
Oh, got it. Okay. I'm noticing a train, but you go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You feel confident. Okay. Third pairing, Fisherman or Kangaroos in Australia.
I want to know who came up with these.
Yeah. You good on the pattern now?
The pattern just got blown away.
It makes no sense anymore. Okay. Our fourth pairing, Kangaroos in Australia or money paid for the most expensive pigeon.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't.
I'm not in the pigeon acquisition world, so I'm not sure.
I'm a little rusty on my
pigeon purchasing.
Pigeon purchasing hobby.
Yeah,
which I so love to. I don't even know how to talk about it. Okay, our fifth pairing, money paid for the most expensive pigeon, and it's in dollars, by the way. If you're trying to choose that number. And then, so that or camels.
Camels,
all the camels.
Camels, kangaroos, and pigeons. Okay. And then do we circle back around camels and Purple Rain?
And then, no, the final one is camels and annual attendance of Major League Baseball.
Okay. I think I'm going to keep up my losing scores.
Yes, and just for a potential tiebreaker, which of these do you think is the highest? The highest number of all these numbers is it annual attendance of Major League Baseball, album sales of Purple Rain, fishermen, kangaroos in Australia, dollars paid for the most expensive pigeon, or camels?
I think that I'd just like to point out that you probably have an advantage in music and baseball over me. I'm hoping to balance out with my kangaroo and camel knowledge, but I don't know if it'll work out.
I think your pigeon knowledge is pretty up there. I don't feel good about any of these. I don't think I'm definitely not confident. This is going to be terrible. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. First pairing, annual attendance of Major League Baseball or album sales of Purple Rain. I said Purple Rain.
I said Purple Rain.
The winner is there's 68,490,000 annual attendance of Major League Baseball, and album sales of Purple Rain is 25 million. So
wow,
baseball takes the cake.
Wow. I should have gone that way.
Wah. All right. Next up, we have album sales of Purple Rain and Fisherman.
Purple Rain.
I put Fisherman. There are 39 million Fishermen and 25 million Purple Rain. So Fisherman wins.
What are we calling fishermen?
It's a good question. Someone who looks at the water and thinks about fishing.
Yeah, there's a lot of subjectivity in these questions. But
a lot.
I knew Purple Rain did well. I was not knowing that.
I thought it was going to be way higher, but oh well.
Try and work these into a conversation in the next few weeks when you're having a coffee or something. Did you know how many fishermen there are in the world?
Yeah, about 39 million. All right, our next pairing, fishermen or kangaroos in Australia?
Kangaroos.
I put fishermen. There are 39 million fishermen, as we discussed, and there's 15.897,501 kangaroos.
Okay. I like how you're drawing out the answer so that my pain lingers.
Of course. That's why that's the friendly competition. So fishermen won.
Okay.
Woo! All right. Next up, kangaroos in Australia or dollars paid for the most expensive pigeon.
I'm going to go with kangaroos.
I went with kangaroos as well. There's 15,897,501 kangaroos, and the most expensive pigeon bought was 1 million, about 400,000.
Wow, I got one right.
Woo! Congrats.
I still think $1 million for a pigeon is a little over the top, but that's just,
but some rich people in the world, I guess. So next up, dollars paid for the most expensive pigeon or camels.
Camels.
I put camels, the 1.4 million for the pigeon and 20 million camels.
Nice.
I guess.
Yep.
And then lastly, camels or annual attendance for Major League Baseball.
Baseball.
I put baseball. I got one wrong in this, and it was the first one of baseball attendance and Purple Rain.
Wow.
That might be one of the best I've ever done.
Yeah. I see the humility pouring out of you.
Thank you.
I got 3 wrong.
I'm a pretty humble guy.
I got 3 wrong, and I'm excited to get 3 right.
That's a healthy average, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting game.
It was very interesting. And then for the highest one, I put album.
I put Purple Rain.
Yeah, which we both got that one wrong.
Yeah, that's baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the highest one is baseball with 68,490,000.
All right.
I guess I could have. I don't know. Yeah, I would have thought Purple Rain had way more than 25 million, but
I didn't have the mental capacity to figure out baseball attendance. I knew there was like 25 million for Purple Rain, but baseball attendance was dragging.
It's probably even higher now because this game. I'm not sure when the
Did it say
copyright
professional baseball attendance or baseball attendance?
Well, it says Major League Baseball, so professional.
Does that include spring training or not spring training?
It's probably I would guess, but yeah, there's I don't know where the source is for this. I have no idea. This is just some random.
What was the vetting for this?
The vetting?
Yeah. How did this game get vetted to be in this room?
There are some mysteries that will we bring to God when we're in heaven. This is one of them.
I think we should figure out a St. Luke's wheels and doors.
How many doors are there at St. Luke's?
How many doors are there at St. Luke's?
Does that include double doors? Does that count as one or two?
What was the attendance for Bible study
in March of 2023?
How many days is summer camp going? Yeah, we could do like a St. Luke's specific one.
We could.
Yeah. How many games has Shane won and how many games has Shane lost?
You're like a statistician. Do you want to go back, listen to every episode and crank out the data?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
I'd rather go Lovewell.
Yeah.
How is that a segue?
Great. Roaring applause. That's how great that segue was.
Awesome.
But in our 1, 2, 3 categories, or what are they specified? I always call them categories. I changed the name. Strategies, discipleship strategies of Go, love well and speak the gospel. We're gonna just kind of follow along in this book of the 1, 2, 3 challenge. And if you want to open up to page 35, you can. But odds are you'll probably just listen, and that's okay too. But go well and speak the gospel, leaning into loving well. But just kind of reading this, we are about both formation and mission, and these can be difficult to hold together in tension. Tensegrity, as one of my colleagues and mentors say. It's a beautiful word. Yeah. The church exists for the church. This is formation within the church, and as the church, God's people receive his grace, grow in his word, and are strengthened by the Spirit of God for faith and life through Jesus. And the church also exists for the world. I'll read the next paragraph?
No, do you want to read the whole thing?
Unpack it?
Yeah. Well, I think this is a well composed statement, because I do think that this is the tension sometimes as people are figuring out not just their own faith and formation, but what are they called to do? And it's within one church itself. It's sometimes challenging, and people can feel if they're fully developed in formation, they're feeling, well, I'm missing something. I'm not on mission. And if people are fully on mission and they're like, well, I'm missing something. I'm not forming.
Yeah.
And so personally, for people within one church, that's that tension that exists to help understand that. I like that we've said the church is for the church and for the world. And so I know as people start to explore this in their own thinking, or while they're listening to the podcast or doing some of these things, it's not right and wrong. I like that it's a paradox, just like the mercy and love of God and the justice and righteousness of God on the cross are a paradox. It's okay to hold these two things in tension.
And in fact, I think part of the tension is what keeps it up.
Right.
I love the imagery. One of my mentors, Reverend Steve Zank, at Concordia University Irvine, he says tensegrity, which is kind of this word that something is held up by tension. In a sense, it's a structure. You might have seen it online. It's like I've seen it made out of Legos, but it's like in a sense, when you look at it, it doesn't make sense how it's held. Like it's holding. It's two pieces with two like chains. Yeah. But both of the chains have tension on them, so the object doesn't just drop. So it looks like it's floating. It's really cool. And I think it's called tensegrity. But in that same way, I think the church, like, yes, like we do need to like care for and nurture our relationships with one another. We need to do that. We also need to not be isolated from the world.
Exactly.
And share this good news with everyone. And it's
Right.
just this, that you need both.
We're called to go and make disciples, to go and spread the gospel and make disciples. Well, how do we do that if you're not formed, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder, I'm just wondering aloud, which might be dangerous, but I wonder if the tension exists because we try to make things in our own nature. We try to make things this or that.
Yes, the church exists to share the gospel. You're not
Yes.
wrong. The
Yes.
church exists to love each other, like with the deepest unity of faith.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and no, you're all not wrong. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's both, and we need to nurture and care for both of these well. And so it's a great opening statement, and I think it's part of the beautiful paradox of the statement of go, love well, and I'll go speak the gospel.
Right. And I think churches are organisms. They're made up of people. They're made up of, that Christ is doing a work through his Spirit for God in this church. And that changes as people come and go. And sometimes there's an opportunity to be very missional and loving. And then other times there's an opportunity to be very loving and missional, right? That as people grow, as we grow in the early ones, as we grow in our understanding of our baptismal identity, then we have different places that come to life in a church. So then a whole room of people, 100 people in a room, maybe in different spots in this. And so we are held together. We are held together by Christ in that tensegrity, right?
Yes. Ultimately, Christ holds the church. It's not just sharing the gospel or loving eeach other well that holds the church together. It is Christ.
It does. And it leaves room for both and.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So, and that means it leaves room for many people. So, anyway, we haven't got past the first paragraph. Sorry.
But it's such a beautiful statement. Do you want to read the second one?
We have been sent by God to love well and speak the gospel. This is nothing new. Jeremiah 29:7 calls God's people to be a blessing to their neighbors, even as exiles in Babylon. Isaiah 25:6 describes the Lord's will that all people be saved. So I have Jeremiah 29 right here because I love this. Yeah. So 29:7. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare. So that ties right to the point that you were saying. We're not isolating ourselves. Our welfare is found in the place where we're at, and we should be praying for the place we're at. So I think that that verse I particularly like, and it reminds me that I'm not in some far off kingdom, that Christ is present in the kingdom where my feet stand. So
yeah, so beautiful. Careful. Keep going.
Keep rolling.
Jesus is the light of the world and the light of life. In him there is life. And Jesus calls us to reflect the light of God's love. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Matthew 5:16, which I'm pretty sure that is the Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven.
Yeah. And I would encourage people as they're reading through this, have it with your Bible. It's a Bible study in itself, to pause when you see the verses and take them in. And you're exactly right on 5:16, that verse is pointing to what is being said here. And so as you're reading through it, having the Bible to look to these verses, if you don't call them to mind, is helpful to see how it threads together.
Yeah.
You want to do the next one?
Oh, sure. We gather together as God's people and grow in his grace. And we go out in his name with his commission and the power of his Spirit for the good of our neighbor. We live in Christ and for others. That's how Martin Luther summarizes the entire Christian faith in his book, The Freedom of the Christian.
Yeah, that's so countercultural, don't you think? We live in Christ for others.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think doing anything for others is countercultural, just in general.
Yeah.
But specifically too, like we live in Christ for others.
Yeah. I think there's many great communities and people do a lot of things, but separate from in Christ, the for others, while it's a good theme, it's not the same thing as in Christ. So I think there's another paradox and tension to, if you're reading this and coming to, hey, what's my understanding of formation and worship? What does it mean to love well and such? There's a moment to pause and know your identity in Christ as the thing that drives the for others, right? And this is where go love well and speak the gospel. I'm going out on mission. Well, you've forgotten Christ.
Yeah.
Take him with you, right?
Yeah.
And so that whole thing again, intention in Christ for others. Yeah.
Beautifully said. Yeah. So
we go and live for others in two main ways. We love well and we speak the gospel, kind of what we said. We love well by serving our neighbor and fulfilling our various callings. You have callings or vocations as a family member, a friend, a citizen, a neighbor, an employee, a student, a member of the congregation, a teammate. In each of these callings, God has entrusted you with caring for other people and the creation itself. To love well is to serve others, alleviate pain, share burdens, add joy, create beauty, and give a clearer picture of a more vivid experience of which God intends life to be. Yeah.
No, I love just the trueness of, like, no matter who you are, God has put various people in your life,
right?
For this specifically, like of loving, of caring for, to share this good news with,
right.
And it's different for all of us, and like it doesn't necessarily mean that you are a missionary going across the globe to share this good news, to love communities that you've never even like could have imagined or shared for. For some people that is the context, but for most people, for the majority of people, we are in settings that God has put us in, and this is our context. These are our people, like whether like in this church or in your work community or other kind of community hobbies that you're part of, sports, jobs, whatever that might look like. There's people in your life God has put in front of you.
Yeah.
I love how that.
I think that's the both and missions and the whole life of missions to other places or even missions locally. But the idea of missions has been part of the church for such a long time. It's not separate from the church. So that is good in itself. And I am not bad if I'm not going somewhere else because I have a mission right here, right?
Yeah.
So I think oftentimes people look at themselves and think of, well, I have to go on mission. I have to go somewhere else. And that's good. And like you said, people are called to that and have the resources for it and have the skills and training for it.
They have a heart for it too.
They have a heart for it. Yeah. And some are right here.
Yeah.
And right here is the mission, right? It's interesting to me. I read one time that there was missionaries that were starting to come to America because they felt that there was a need to share the gospel, right? So the missionary history of the church has now got people coming back this way. And so if we think about it, wherever we live, Puyallup or Kent or Des Moines or, Bonnie Lake or Federal Way, there is a mission there right where God has planted you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're going to school or work or you're staying at home or you're retired or you're active, that there is a mission that God calls for this vocation which you might be in. Well, I'm a retired grandparent. Great. That's your vocation. Where does it take you? Where are you interacting with people, right? I'm a young person. I'm going to take the year off and go around okay, great. What is that God calling you to be? So neither one, I guess my heart is that people don't evaluate themselves by one or the other, that they're called to love well.
Mm-hmm. And I think somebody you said kind of like stirred up something in me too, to like specify too, of like your mission context. It has to involve people.
Yeah.
Serving and loving people.
Yeah.
I think there are settings and scenarios where your calling is like might seem apparent to be very like isolated or isolating like well, like I watch a lot of TV and series and stuff, so like that's my context. I gotta just watch a bunch of TV of these TV shows that I love to watch, and like, okay, who is that involving?
Right.
Is it just you, not others? Probably not it.
Yeah.
Because I imagine like whether it be like retirees or people whose like calling context setting is much more different than like you go to job and work and it's very obvious like these are the people you're around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're pointing to, and especially in like recent history with things like COVID and people isolating, and just that the world is more separate than communal in many ways.
Yeah.
That it does tend to make us think, well, I'm going to stay and do this. But just as you're saying, and it says here, God entrusted you with caring for other people in the creation itself. So the encouragement would be, if someone does feel isolated, one, that we're loving well, and this is about the formation within the church before we even go on mission, that hopefully if you're feeling isolated, there's someone to connect to here. That's the first thing, the formational thing. Can you reach out to someone here, or has someone connected with you, right? And then that provides the difference of opportunities. But the idea that I think you're expressing is that we're here to care for others and the creation. So that opens up a large variety, and sometimes, like you say, for people it's challenging. Well, I'm isolated, or I'm not mobile, or I don't have a ride, and the encouragement is, well, let's look around where you're called to right now, and I bet you that there's proximity to people that you might not have seen. That brings you out of, oh yeah. So the example I would give is my mother-in-law, and she doesn't mind me talking about her, and I'll send her this. So she's 80 and she has ALS. She's got a beautiful heart for loving people. She doesn't move far out of the home. She's not as strong and weak, but every morning she goes and sits outside of her house. And as the neighborhood is walking around, walking dogs, they stop by. She gives the dog a treat. They talk. She's loving them and encouraging them. How's your day going? And all that kind of thing, and sharing with them what she does of her faith in the world. So a person that's limited and in a sense kind of, confined to one space is still engaging with and loving others. Do you know what I mean? So,
yes, someone who literally can't move beyond further than confines of their home and front porch, backyard, whatever that is, like still finding ways to interact and be with others.
Right.
I'm just noticed. Well, I want to finish reading this, but I kind of had another thought. But I want to finish reading this and then say the thought. Let me write it down actually before I forget. While
you're writing this, I think the other good thing about having your Bible open as well, you're going through this, is we're about to come up to some questions, and sometimes these questions will help you. Well, I'm going to go look that part up, right? It's not just like, well, this is what I think. So the whole idea of the 1, 2, 3 thing is, as you're reading it, as you're contemplating what you're doing, you've got your Bible open with you, and you're engaging in the Word in that way. So which part do you want to read, or what would you
just the last two paragraphs here, right? That's where we ended. So, and to speak the gospel, right? That's where we okay. And to speak the gospel is to explicitly use our words to point to the good news of Jesus. Faith comes by hearing. The gospel is not our actions, but the saving actions of Jesus. Our words testify to his work. as you think of 2 intentional steps to go, consider these reflection questions. If you're feeling especially brave, consider inviting another Christian to process with you. So we'll get to these questions real quick, but I just kind of made the connection that our 1, 2, 3 challenge is beautiful imagery of just the Christian faith, in that our first step is to gather in worship and in life together. You can't do that without people.
Right.
You need people. Grow in word baptismal identity. You can do that with people. You can do that privately as well, but I think it's healthy in the communal setting, the community setting, to grow in word and in your baptismal identity. But that's very it's very dependent on you and your kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of ability to make time to grow in the word and to grow in your baptismal identity, and then to go is very dependent again on people.
Right.
And it's just kind of this beautiful imagery of like we gather as the people, we grow as the people, and then we are sent as the people. It's just this 1, 2, 3 imagery. I'm just kind of imagining. Dr. Reverend Mike Mittendorf has a cool imagery of the bow tie method, and it's just this imagery that the Old Testament points to Jesus,
yes.
and then Jesus is the culminating thing. So the arrow points to Jesus, and the New Testament is always just pointing back to Jesus,
yes.
and it's just this arrow pointing backwards to Jesus, and you get this bow tie out of it. And a lot of this 1, 2, 3 reminds me of the bow tie method, and that we're gathering, and it's all pointing to Jesus, and then the growing in word and baptismal identity, it's all about Jesus. And then as we're sent, all we're doing is just pointing back to Jesus. We love well because of Jesus. We speak the gospel because of Jesus, and we're pointing back to that. So just the 1, 2, 3 challenge reminded me a lot of this bow tie analogy, that no matter what, it's all pointing to Jesus. So it involves and number 1s and 3, or like the gather and the go part is very, very, very dependent on people and the community, the people you surround yourself with.
I think, I like the analogy you're using. It's not a linear thing. I need to do these 10 things. Now I have completed this, and now I will go do this, right? As you're saying, it's kind of this life and movement. So as we gather, there's formation, right? And even in the gathering, when we're sharing the gospel with one another, right? So when maybe we should clarify, when we say gathering, Sunday definitely, because there God condescends to be with us in word and sacrament, right? God is speaking through the communion in the word, right? But gathering is also like, I'm going to go have coffee with a couple of my buddies, and I'm going to go to summer nights, and I'm going to go intentionally to my friend's house to pray or visit somebody in the hospital. The gathering definitely within the church, right? God gathers his people together since the beginning of time. That gathering is formational in the church itself, right? So if we were just missional, we lose out in that formation of being together. I also think that it's a little bit of a laboratory, or a learning laboratory, because if I'm gathered with others in Christ and we are seeking the best for each other and forgiving one another and graceful with one another, then if I make a mistake there, it's my best learning place as I grow. Because if I step on your toes, you might get offended or angry, but you're going to be searching back to, where do I forgive my brother? Where do I forgive my brother? Right.
And it's beautiful. It's just what the church is. It's people loving, forgiving one another.
Yeah.
If you can't do it in the church setting, what hope do you have outside of it?
In a tough place.
Yeah.
So formation isn't just books and videos and podcasts, but keep listening to this podcast. But formation is in many different things. So that formation that's happening helps us learn to love one another, so that when we go out and that gets tougher, then we've had some experience, and we also have a place to go back to and heal when things get more challenging out in the world, or our vocations. So,
yeah. So beautiful. I I want to keep the conversation moving. Just
have I used all my words, Shane? I think I have a few more sorries, but
no nonsense. You've got plenty of words to share. As far as these questions, just skim through them, just to consider. We can, I guess reflect on these on your own time, because I want to get to these steps here. But these questions that the last paragraph was referring to is, who is God calling you to love right now? Consider that for yourself, and who God is calling you to love right now. What are the relationships, callings, passions, and locations in your life in which God is calling you to serve? Where in your life is God calling you to serve? How are you growing? And then these other two have more so to do with speak the gospel. We're going to actually lean into a little bit of the love well part of it, but actually, so we'll tackle those other questions later.
Okay.
So on page 38, we're on our first steps to go love well, and again, take these steps and kind of how they're structured with a grain of salt, as them being first steps, next steps, challenge steps, because regardless of how you slice it, like a first step could be challenging. A challenging step could be a first step. A next step. They're kind of arbitrary as for how or where these are placed. They're more or less just like placeholder titles to kind of,
I think
give them categories.
Yeah, I like that you said, a first step might be challenging, and a challenging step might be your first step. I think that what we do have in some of the places is an encouragement if you think you've got it all done. And I don't think we do until we're looking in the face of Jesus.
Yeah.
But if you think you've got it all done, think about this. And that gives you the opportunity. Like, I've done a lot of community service. Okay. Et cetera, et cetera. Can you log 50 hours, or can you do, and are you going to re-engage? So again, I think that one of the beauties of the book is, to your bow tie thing, I did this thing and appointed to Christ. Great. Now what's the next thing? Let's go back and do it again. That like in doing it again, does that become the habit of your life? Right. So I just looked at the first one, and the first steps, the go love well first steps is call your parent or grandparent and check in. You can do that one time and be done, or you can continue to do that, and it becomes a habitus and a thing that changes relationships.
Yeah, which is a little later as well. So later, one of the other steps is to do that a certain number of times. But to build that as a habit, it's a beautiful thing. That's not a bad thing to regularly check in on your loved ones.
I think that when we were putting them together, I was reminded, my thing is always building too big. Well, we could do this, and then add this, and add this. And I remember in some conversations with Pastor Dan, it's like, hey, Vicar Dave, just take one step for me. Don't try and run the whole race. Just take. So that's the reminder, is like, call your parent.
Yeah. And I think so many of these first steps merit so much of, like, if you have, I'm saying this for myself. Yeah. Cause one of mine was like, call your parent or grandparent 20 times or 10 times, whatever that the later one is. But in reality, like, if I just do it once, I'm doing good job. And I think like doing it multiple times just will help kind of build it into like the routine of it. But for me, like that's such a huge step to like for me and my family, like I kind of expand this one, call your parent or grandparent to check in, to expanded it to, brother, sister, loved one, friend, close friend, to like check in with them. And so expand it to that. But even with that, like if I just call like my close friend once to check in, instead of just like running into him once a year, like that's beautiful. Like that's such a beautiful way to check in and to connect. And
I think we can if you're struggling to do that one thing, and I think it's great, like you said, it could be parent or grandparent or brother or sister, call someone What are you anxious about? What is exciting you? There's
Yes.
2 questions you can start. If you're worried about how you start the conversation, hi, I was just thinking about you and I wanted to know what you're excited about.
Yeah, what's exciting in your life right now?
Yeah.
And say, why are you calling? You never call. You just say, okay, it's this 1, 2, 3 book. You know, But hey, I'm calling now, so here we go.
I don't think you even have to explain yourself. I know life is long and complicated. I won't tell all the time, but the family that I grew up in and with, there was times that we weren't talking to one another. And I remember, I'll make it short. It was one phone call to my brother. And now some 20 years later, in that time, I was there at his baptism. We're closer than we've ever been in life. We share a faith. And I know it's not me. It wasn't because of that one phone call, but in that God's working, and I got to have a seat and all that. But it started with one phone call. Hi, how are you? And the phone call was a little awkward because we hadn't talked. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm fine. How are you? Good. But it opened the door for all the rest that came that God was working in. So, yeah, I encourage people. One phone call changes many things.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we could probably talk about that one forever. Another beautiful first step: help make coffee on a Sunday morning. Email Vicar Dave.
Yeah. There's a coffee team, and Brenda Schmeling is really leading that. But together we kind of help people coordinate to where they can serve. So yeah, email me. I'll connect you with the right people. But it's just a chance. Loving people might be as simple as making coffee. Right.
If there's one thing I think every church has in common,
coffee.
They have coffee on Sunday morning. And if that coffee isn't there,
it's the same for the next one, for the Braille ministry, right? When we're saying love people, you might be in a room downstairs with a bunch of other people that are putting together Braille books, and you might never meet the person that's using that Braille book.
Yeah.
But I don't have in front of me the number of books and the number of people that team has loved well because they're reading the gospel in Braille.
Yeah.
So the loving well doesn't mean you need to go and do everything and go put together Braille books, and you're loving people well.
And this one even is just observe. Yeah, just observe the Braille ministry. Don't even.
Yeah, that's don't walk in the door.
Yeah. Just see it. It might not even be your thing. You might say, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Cool. You still were there boosting spirits and adding, conversation with your presence alone. So, that's loving just to be there.
A great observation.
Yeah. This one is very appreciated by us. Send an encouraging card to a staff member. And if that has to be an email, great. Handwritten cards, I think, are a little more sentimental. But hey, if I get a random email or just some message from a member of the church, and it's not hey, you should consider doing this instead.
Right.
No, it's purely just encouragement and just that's beautiful. That uplifts us. That does so much for us.
I'm looking at this with editor eyes because I think I went through and I think if we jump over the next one for just a sec, there's send an encouraging card to a college student. Send an encouraging card to a friend in a facility. Send an encouraging card to staff member. Send an encouraging card to somebody that sits with you in the pews. Yeah. That you might know better than, So the whole the whole idea isn't trying to recruit into ministries and do this. It's like, how do we love one another? So the whole send an encouraging card, I think by dropping it, whether it's a ministry staff or another congregation member or a college student that's far away, it's a way to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Even I'm praying for you. And that unexpected moment in their day, God's working into.
Yeah. It's just encouraging others. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that the church should do. So encourage one another with a card and then get a marble.
We were way up there.
Get
a marble. We jumped over make a list of 10 people God might be calling you to serve.
I like this one just because it's purely just saying make a list. You you probably will not get to every single person on this list. But if 10 people can come to your mind and you write that down and you're that intentional with writing down 10 names, like that's a beautiful step of faith in loving well.
Yeah.
Just considering those people, writing their names down in this book.
Yeah. We're still in the first steps, right? And so it's like, it's good to remind us, like you're doing, make a list. It doesn't say you're going to go and repaint their house. You're making a list. And then what that list becomes, we start to trust in God's hands, what he wants you to do with that. And this is where I think when we're thinking of, the conviction of the Spirit or being led into all truth by the Spirit, it's not necessarily just this feeling that I have, but it is in contemplating God's word, and the life that I'm living in this place brings that moment for the Spirit to work within you. The Spirit's going to work as he's going to work, not as I deem him to. But as you're sitting and thinking about that list and you're turning that over to God, and you might be looking again in your Bible to, see like what it is to love as a Christian, that's where it's not just you making the list. It's the Spirit whom is in you that is working. And so that being fed in that sense by the faith you have in Jesus Christ is part of what this brings to life. If you don't make the list, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but this is just an opportunity for that to be part of your growth, part of your, formation.
Being formed to love each other well. Some miscellaneous ones. Donate candy or a cake for the Fall Festival in October of 2026. We have a Fall Festival event that we host at St. Luke's. We always need donations for candy, cake. That's always appreciated. Or similarly, buy a gift for the Mirror Lake Christmas Mall in November of 2026. Just using the resources that you have to bless others is loving well.
Yep. I think there's a couple of quick note: donate candy or cake. Make sure you don't give it to Vicar Dave because he will eat it. He's unrestrained on his candy. We're trying to slow that down. And it can be baked goods. It can be just what is your thing or craft that you, like you said earlier, what is it that you have and where does it fit in that, either the Fall Festival or on a Sunday morning or something like that. And then I liked it. It's in here. It's like participate in the spring cleanup or do more chores at home or make a meal for a friend, because this is open to everybody. And I know there's 12-year-olds that like to cook, right? So maybe you're making spaghetti for a friend or something like that. So there's an opportunity for all who are in our congregation to do things together. It isn't just, and things that are adult focused.
And I know like these are very on the nose, like very specific, like for our Mirror Lake Christmas, or offer to rake leaves or shovel snow for a neighbor. Also, if you scrape the ice frost off his window in the morning before he heads to work, that's a beautiful, that's not on this list, but it's probably kind of the broadest ways in which you can love each other well in these first steps.
The last one is where we're starting to, just count some hours. And maybe it's a little bit more of a commitment, but 5 hours of community service. They can be done all at once. They've been done at different times, whatever the rhythm is. I know you have in our church people that are volunteering for Fusion, people that are volunteering in other parts of our community in the places that they live, right? So we know that geographically people live farther from the church than they have in the past. And that's just true of churches everywhere. But where you live in that community, where can you connect and serve and be part of that community? It could be something simple.
Consider those. So we've got our page 40, Love Well Next Steps. And again, these are just other ways you can love well. You don't even need to see this as a first step or next step, or this could be a first step, whatever. But make a donation to Fusion. Fusion is an organization in Federal Way that assists low-income, struggling people or families or persons either with financial needs, physical needs of clothing or food, or just like helping them stay away from unhealthy habits or addictions. So Fusion's a beautiful program that's just sole purpose is just helping our community. So Fusion, consider donating to them. But we've got a few donations. There's also Shepherd's Canyon Retreat, which seeks to help rejuvenate and just care and love for church workers or people who serve or work in the church who are burnt out or struggling to find their identity, purpose in their work anymore, or who have been burned or hurt by the church in any way. So Shepherd's Canyon's a beautiful ministry. Consider donating to them, or even donating to LCMS World Relief, which I'm not as familiar with.
They work around the world, and I think the thing is for the donations, like these were intentional choices, so we're not just picking something that we're uncertain about where the money's actually going.
Yes.
Or are they a partner with us, or have we worked with them in the past? And
yes,
these three have been part of this congregation for a longer time than my being here, but it's there's a certain sense of security in saying, okay, I can donate to LCMS World Relief and know that it's used appropriately. So
so these are things we condone. We're not necessarily like partners and working closely together, but we know people in them, and we support them.
I like to visit a resident at a care facility. I think that sometimes people think that's the exclusive territory of pastors or vicars.
But even the one above that, visit a friend or church member in the hospispel.
Exactly. Yes.
So both of those.
Both of those. There's wonderful people in our congregation that do that now.
Yes.
I think they see the fulfillment and enrichment and joy of serving the Lord in that way. And I think for some people, why it's a next step is they might have always considered, well, that's what the pastor does. And they don't realize these beautiful people who do it quietly without fanfare. Yeah. And so if you haven't and need encouragement or help sorting that out, just come and talk to me. And we'll tell you where our people, like here are places where we'll make the connection or help you make the connection, so you're not walking into a room unannounced. And
even to just empower the people at our church too. Whether the assumption was, oh, that's the pastor's job, or what am I supposed to do about it? Yeah. Like just pray. Like, I think pray. Like, by all means. Like, people the people in the family of our faith can always use all the prayers we can get. But also just to enable our members, whether that means talking to you or talking to a family or friend member directly to just say, oh, hey, I heard this happened. How can I support? Hey, this person would love, they need a meal. They need, they would just love company. Like just consider talking directly. And that helps build and establish that relationship connection as well.
Absolutely. So it's not be alone, visit a resident, right? Maybe somebody, members of our congregation that are doing that, and you can say to them, do you mind if I go with you next time? I'm sure they would take encouragement out of that, right? So if you know somebody or see somebody in our congregation, because there's oftentimes this is the way that the pastors first get the information, is somebody else has been to see them and they let the pastors know just because of the nature of ministry and stuff. So visit doesn't mean you have to do it on your own. Like you're saying, ask those that do it. If you need help finding them, come see me. We'll help you figure this out.
We can point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A step we had before was observe the St. Luke's Braille Ministry, but we have one here that's just help with it. So if you observed, or if you just want to jump straight into the deep end, it's not even that deep. It's pretty easy, simple work. But
there's some great people doing the Braille Ministry.
Great people doing that.
And I have been down there. They have great conversations down there. So it's not just drudgery and stuff. It's brothers and sisters loving one another and doing some good stuff. So
absolutely.
Braille Ministry, definitely.
Yes. So we talked about Fusion before, but another one is schedule a tour at Fusion and see how you might volunteer. So maybe you're not in a place to donate towards that mission and cause, but maybe you can help with your times and talent. So reach out to them, consider how you might be able to help.
Yep. I think we're logging a few things now and moving from a first step to a next step in doing more. So memorize verses on page 48. There's a list of verses that relate to this, will help you understand more about loving well from a biblical perspective. Clean up the worship center 5 times. It's in the repetition sometimes that life of service comes to fruition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it one time is interesting and you learn, but doing it repetitively starts to bring something to the forefront. Like calling your parent or grandparent one time, like you said, is great. Call them 10 times now, right? So this is where you're growing in loving well. You're going to love well, but you're growing in that going. I got to come up with a T-shirt for that.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Did you talk about the Bible verses?
I just went by that pretty quick.
Skimmed it. Yeah. We've got similar to each section, and the gather, grow, and go. The go section on the back on page
48.
48 has a bunch of Bible verses categorized between love well and speak the gospel. You can do your best to memorize 5 verses in that section of love well.
I think the other part for the memorization is I'm finding as I get older, memorization of a lot of stuff is requires more time and challenging. So even if you're reading them 5 times,
I would just say, even if you've just read 5 of them, picked 5 and read them, good, great job. I think that's a beautiful step in the right direction, and a step that it's worth sharing about. So
I would add to that, if you're going to read them, take time to pray about them.
Yes.
And if you're resting in them, to go and to love well, read, rest, pray, contemplate, and that will also help with your journey.
Yeah.
So,
we've got, it says memorize 5, but even if you just read and contemplated and sat in 5 of those verses, that's beautiful too. Similar to before, we've got call a local facility and ask about local care facility and ask about volunteering. Other volunteer work, contact Mirror Lake Elementary School about volunteer opportunities. Here at St. Luke's and Federal Way off 312th Street, we're right next to a public elementary. Is that right?
Yep.
Elementary school, Mirror Lake, who always needs support in various ways. So the number, I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but the number is in here in the book. And you can also just Google Mirror Lake Elementary.
Yep.
That'll take you to it. And the last one here is log 20 hours of community service. If you're doing half of these things, consider keeping track. I think this is a beautiful journal where you can keep track of the ways you've been serving your community or other places.
I like the verse that's at the bottom of the page, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. I don't hear that as an admonition. You should walk in this. I hear this as, I've already prepped the way for you. Come on. It's not even, you must do this. It's more like, it's okay. I've made the way for you. And if you think about it, in Christ is the way made for us. So, yeah.
No, it's beautiful, beautiful verse.
Yeah. The last page is it's more time, right? These are the challenging things. The very first one, Shane, is our grief share group. Invite someone to grief share and join them in the sessions. You can email the email that's in there. You can come up and talk. Our people that do grief share are often at the center informational booth that you can talk to, or you can come connect with me and I'll make sure you get connected. But grief share loves and serves well both in our church and our community, that people come who have different kinds of grief. Of course, we think of death or immediate death in the context of what we're doing, but grief comes in different forms as well, in dealing with cancer and dealing with other things. And here's a place to walk through that grief so you're not alone. And we have wonderful people that serve in leading this grief share that have tender hearts, not just for our congregation, but also people that are invited from the community. And for some of those people, it's the first time that they're in a church. And for some of those people, it's the first time they get to ask a Christian, where's God at in this?
Yeah.
So it is I think a wonderful and challenging ministry.
And one other piece I'd love to share about Grief Share too, that's just an encouragement for those listening to this. The Grief Share is not a don't compare your grief to others, and that there's no threshold of like, well, it wasn't this crazy catastrophic event that has wallowed me into this pit of despair. Like, it can be a very simple thing that happened years ago, or there's nothing too mundane or small that doesn't I'm sure they like. It's a great opportunity for you to share what's troubling your heart with an incredible supportive group of people who are so accepting and willing and listening to hear it
and connected to Christ, right? And it's not a competition. And some people don't have the opportunity to deal with grief at the time something happens. So your point about this might have been something that happened years earlier. Now you have the opportunity, or you're facing dealing with it. And here we have from our congregation wonderful people leading that help walk that through and love well in that space.
So I know this one says invite someone to Grief Share and join them for sessions. A beautiful first step might also just be just attend it.
Just go and see what's going on.
Don't assume it's for someone else, but reflect your own heart. And I think that's beautiful. Love well the people around us, but sometimes caring for your own soul is also beautiful.
So definitely consider it yourself, right? Invite someone or consider it yourself to sit and be loved and love well in Grief Share.
So just the other ones here, log 50 hours of community service. The number just kind of keeps growing, but sometimes if your heart's in this area of service, then this is a beautiful challenge for you to log your hours and to keep track that you've done 50 hours of community service. That's beautiful.
I think it's not a competition. And if you do 50 and I do 45, doesn't mean, what did we say? You get super heaven and I only get heaven. That's not at all in this. This is where I think we are shaped in the serving, right? That we often don't consider, well, I've tried that thing and I don't like it. But, or I've tried that thing and I like it. But in the continuous service, serving 50 hours shapes you differently than serving 1 hour or serving 5 hours. But again, it's not a competition. If all you have is 5 hours, that's okay. Go love well in those 5 hours, right? And that's why we have the challenge steps and the next steps and the first steps. It's for everybody. So when you look at this, you shouldn't be getting saddened. Well, I'm not doing that. That's okay. That's not the place that Christ has called you to at the moment. But herein, you have these 2 hours. Serve that and meet in the serving that love which you have been called into.
So you know what your context is. We had the other one at the very beginning. Call your parent, grandparent, check in. This one is just call your parent, grandparent, check in 20 times. And again, I expanded this to family, friend, loved ones, but
call
find
someone.
the habit of it to do it regularly. That was just a list in the book, but we always want to encourage St. Luke's friends and family, or just listener to this. If you think something should merit, like, I did this to love well, to love my neighbor well, let us know. Share it anyway, even if you're shy, bashful, or just insecure, or just unsure about whether, like, hey, does this count as a step and a marble? Let us know. Please. We want to share the step. the main avenue we have of sharing the step is, scanning the QR code in the book, or telling us or someone at the Welcome Center that you did. I personally haven't, I haven't had anyone come to me personally and share, hey, I did this. Can you share this step for me? And I'd say, yes.
Yeah.
And if somebody did, it might have just been once. I think the main avenue people have of submitting their step is probably Welcome Center on Sunday morning. But seriously, if you want to just email me or talk to me on a Sunday morning about it, same for Vicar Dave or any of our St. Luke's ministry staff, Jonah Kaufman, Brenda Schmeling, Pastor Dan's on sabbatical, so don't bug him. But we would love to know, and it's just a different avenue. To share, whether it's this Love Well step or whether it's gathering worship or whatever it might look like. We would love to know too. It's not as anonymous as the QR code.
I think that's a beautiful point, right? We're not stuck with only the book, and we love to know what you're doing.
Yes, and how you might be taking intentional steps of your faith.
And if you think, well, I've done this thing and it's no big thing. No, it's a big thing. We're doing this together. So this is back to the very part we started, the formation.
Yes.
We're being formed together.
Yes.
And so the idea of coming in and putting a marble in might seem like, well, I really didn't do. No. You're gracing the congregation who's now seeing 300 marbles. I don't know the number, but you're sharing that.
And yes, in sharing that, the one, but also, that's why I think the check-in part is important, because there are some things that I think are, it's not just practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect results, or whatever that quote is. And that we want to make sure you're taking healthy steps, and that you're not reading the wrong resources, or you're not reading things that are actually detrimental to our faith. Sure. Oh no, that's not actually helpful in your walk of faith. That's where us ministry staff, that's our job. We want to make sure you are caring for your soul, and that you are cared for and loved, and that you are growing in your walk of faith. So that's why consult us, talk to us.
I think it gives us an opportunity to love well.
Yes, it gives us
a place to love the congregation well. So while we're all going on our own journeys in the 1, 2, 3 challenge, that exchange when people come up and talk to you and share, that's encouraging to us, but it also gives the ministry staff the chance to love well.
Yes. So listener, I want to encourage you for that. But you're not alone in this. Don't try to figure this out all by yourself. Talk to your neighbor, talk to us, talk to someone about it. Have fun with this. We'll continue this conversation next time with Go Speak the Gospel. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We'll catch you guys later.
Thank you.
That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414 podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you, so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.